All right, guys. I know I'm about 2 minutes late today. I'm usually a minute early, but that's crazy. But sorry, guys. Spoiler warning for the Walking Dead series, comic shows, spin-offs, all that stuff. So I'm One Eyebrow, and I'm back to talk about the PT channel, Fight for Us, Walking Dead stuff. So in the title, we got the Walking Dead Season 10 and Walking Dead series discussion. Spoiler warning, so obviously spoiler warning to that. But spin-off stuff, we're going to talk about a variety of topics. Obviously, people are going to be posting questions. So if you're worried about spoilers, please stop watching now. We'll talk about a bunch of different things going around, Walking Dead related. I watched a movie on Netflix last night that we'll talk about, Six Underground, which is kind of crazy. Definitely like a bunch of things to talk about here. So thank you guys for joining me. Sorry, a little late. The computer was sluggish. I had to, restart the modem and everything. So we're back and I'm here to talk about it. So first and foremost, guys, thank you guys for joining me, and girls. So I just say guys is the general thing. It was always funny. Like, I've been doing this now for coming up on 5 years in January. And you remember certain things of interactions with people on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everything, right? So it's like, man, I remember certain things. And I remember people used to get mad over dumb things. Well, dumb in my opinion. I guess they weren't dumb to them because they were getting mad on there too. And you're like, why do you say girl, like girls, like young girls on there too? Like when you were saying about Judith or whatever, like she's not a child, she's not a baby, she's not this. And you're like, really? That's what somebody gets mad over? Well, I didn't know what to call her and this and that. And, somebody would say, they would get mad because they say, what's up, guys? It's like, it's just a general statement, what's up, people, my PT peeps. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. But overall, I'm excited to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I made a video a couple days ago about Season 2's episode that I talked about last live stream, Season 2, Episode 8. I talked about it. It's very interesting. At the time, we probably didn't think much of it. But now about the spin-offs and the movies and all this stuff, it's like, man, it's kind of highlighting a lot of things. So I'll talk about that. I'm going to share that and upload it tomorrow for sure. So Nathan, okay, Q&A. Do you think Maggie will cross into Whisperer territory when she returns? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, there's been talks about Maggie returning in the back half of Season 10. There's been some different, unconfirmed information that she may come back as soon as Season 10, Episode 14. And she's supposedly with another cast member that we don't know if it's on the Whisperer border or if it's going to be on our side, if it's going to be around Alexandria or Hilltop or what. But I don't know if she's going to, if and really when Maggie returns, Maggie is going to be one of those, we don't know. One of those things that we just don't know, wild cards. She's going to have to know a lot of things. She's going to have to be caught up on a lot of things. The whole Whisperer stuff is going to be like, whoa, what happened? We lost Jesus? We lost Tara? We lost the Pikes? I mean, I'm going to have a whole video talking about when Maggie returns because it deserves a whole episode, a whole video, in my opinion. But thank you guys for joining me this Sunday. Thank you, Protected Lion and Sandra and Arsenic Alley Cat and everybody else that's a moderator, Hectorito, new member, level 3 PT Peep. And you don't have to be a member of our membership program or join. You don't have to do that at all. But it's cool to support the channel, to get some emojis, to get some badges, and to be able to talk about a bunch of things on here and to have, some different things. I have 5 moderators now. And I'm really excited about that because they can police and patrol the comments. And it's been crazier and crazier and crazier lately with people saying that they're this person when it's the fake Sandra or the fake Jenny or the fake Jeannie and the fake thing and the fake this. And then a couple of days ago, somebody was going around portraying as my wife, which is ridiculous. So it's like, what? It makes me feel like, what the heck is going on here? That's pretty disrespectful to be Jennifer, another moderator too. And it's kind of disrespectful for someone to go around and steal the identity, even if it's a YouTube channel, a YouTube profile. That's still identity theft. That's still not cool to do. I don't tolerate that. I don't tolerate people being disrespectful and tolerate that at all, especially when it comes to myself, my family members, and anyone on this channel that is a big supporter of what we do here. whether they are a member or they're just a subscriber or they're just there and they've been here for a while and they're not causing any problems, but people love to fight people on here and call them names and everything else. It's kind of ridiculous. So, that's been going around too. It's been crazy, right? So, sorry, I did a little tangents, but I always like to be real and I like to tell you, what's actually going on. So if you see someone around here or other channels and they're, portraying someone here that's, clearly not from this channel, because any of the people that are moderators or people that have been here for a while, they're just going to be regular, nice people and genuine people here. People have been weeded out, blocked from, posting stuff here. And maybe they go to other channels and who knows what they say. So if you see someone, portraying, acting as my wife, I highly doubt that she is going around doing some of the things that they were said in another thing. She is not a person that really goes on YouTube as posting comments. She may go look at videos or something like that. But ultimately, she's not going to go around saying some of the things that were pretty outlandish, and it's pretty ridiculous. But that's crazy. Jane Woodhouse Q&A. How many episodes will Michonne be in before she leaves? That's a question that we just don't know. We know for a fact at least one more. I'm guessing probably 2, because the math that I have, and I'm going to make a video over it over the break because, Michonne's my girl. And someone came up with a great idea, the top 10 best Michonne moments. Definitely got to do that video. I love Michonne. She's my favorite character. Going to give props to her. I would assume probably 1 to 2 more episodes is what we're going to get out of Michonne, because I just don't know how they're going to wheel it in, how they're going to have her send off, if it's going to be that she leaves, if she dies, or however it's going to happen, and not affect the show. You can't have too many episodes because we only have 8 more episodes in season 10. So it's going to be crazy for what it is. But I appreciate the thought that we're going to have her in the second half of season 10, because we might have just had the first half, and that's it. Like we got Rick, the first 5 episodes. So Rick was in 5 episodes. Michonne has been in 4 episodes to date. I have it written down. It's like 1, 7, and 8, and maybe 1, 4, 7, and 8 or something. I have it written down somewhere. And then we'll probably get 1 more, so that'd be 5 episodes for her too. So Dan says, I'm just a subscriber. I can't afford much at the moment. I got 5 kids and moving, but I love your channel and will watch and support. And that's great, Dan, and I appreciate it. You don't have to, send money or join the membership program, or you don't have to do that at all. If you can, greatly appreciate it. If you just support by watching a channel, hit that subscribe button, share the videos, tell your friends, tell your family on that too. It's pretty awesome, and I appreciate it. I'm not want to be the guy who's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. If you can, more power to you. I just know that it comes back to the channel too. So just in time. It's always like a person like this, they highlight this. You were totally wrong on Negan. How was I wrong about Negan? First of all, it's probably an opinion of mine. I don't know what you're talking about. And second of all, what are you talking about? I'm wrong? Thanks. Thanks for giving specifics on there too. That's what people do. It's pretty hilarious. For it, Yenzi Rosario, Q&A. Who do you think will tell Maggie about the people that died? I don't know. I mean, who's left to be really Maggie's good friends? If Michonne's gone, then she's gone. I don't know how she's going to say it. But ultimately, maybe Daryl or Carol. I mean, somebody's going to have to tell her. I would assume Daryl, because Daryl was probably the closest person to Maggie before Maggie went away. So I would assume Daryl. Nathan, okay. Q&A, I got another one for you. Do you think Michonne will be forced to trade herself to CRM in order to be the weapons for the group? I don't know. Well, if she has to trade herself, then how are they going to drop the weapons off? Is she just going to take the weapons and then have to leave with this group? I don't know. I just really don't know how they're going to do it, because I've heard people talking about, they think that Virgil is going to force Michonne to go with CRM to trade them for the family, Virgil's family, or Virgil was trying to get away from them or something. So I think Virgil has a play in this. I don't want Virgil to be a bad guy and that he forces Michonne to go there, but I don't know what they're going to do. But I could see the whole Virgil angle with CRM and the helicopters coming around to take her away. But if she goes away, then she's probably going to find Rick at some point. Maybe it's the second movie, maybe it's even the third movie, but I hope that happens. Is just the way it goes. Is Michonne reuniting with Rick, it has to happen. If it doesn't happen, then it's just a lost opportunity in my opinion. So Mary Shills, my girl Mary, Q&A, who do you think let Negan out? That's a tough question. I mean, a lot of people are saying Daryl did, and this one did, and that one did, and Carol did. I think it's between Daryl and Carol. We just don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with that story arc, but we just don't have the answer right now, and that's okay. I just hope it's answered, and I want that. I personally think Daryl did, or Carol makes the most sense. Either of those two people, and I could see which way it is. I just hope it's answered that we will find out, and I'd be happy with either of those, for sure. Khaleesi Stark, I gotta go, but love the channel. Thank you guys. Arsenic Alley Cat Q&A. Do you think the communities will be angry with Maggie when she comes back? I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna get the idea of Maggie did anything wrong. I don't think she left the group on just to fend for themselves. There was some correspondence. She left with Georgie. I don't think anybody has had ill will towards Maggie from that. But some people could. Some people could be pissed. And I think it should be brought up. Like, you weren't here. We lost Jesus. And we lost, all these characters. Tara and so many characters. Addie and, so many characters of smaller people from Hilltop. Hilltop, Tammy Rose. So a lot of people were gone from Hilltop. Hilltop had a huge loss of the Pike lineup. And when Maggie returns, that needs to be addressed for sure. So I just hope it's done in a way there too. So TDH Tuba, what's the spoilers then? Well, I don't know what's considered a spoiler right now because we shared a lot of different information. Beta being a singer, Beta leading the Whispers, Beta singing, and the Whispers singing the song We Are the End of the World, Hilltop. And it's funny because I wrote a thing in a message, or I said something in a video saying they burned Hilltop to the ground. And the person's like, well, actually, Hilltop is still standing. The house is still standing. Burning it to the ground means that there's nothing left standing. Thanks. Okay, they tear it up. They burn it up. They do major damage. What else do you want to say? When I'm making the videos, I'm just talking and I'm ad-libbing most of the stuff when I come up with ideas. I don't have a script and I'm like, well, actually, they burned it down significantly, 80% damage. Like, what are you talking about? Like, people get so crazy on so many aspects of it and it's just ridiculous. But that's what people love to do. So, what do we got here? Edmund plays games. Are you sure Alpha would die this season? A fight between Beta and Negan seems likely. I'm not sure 100%, but it's highly likely that it makes sense that Alpha dies because if Alpha survives into season 11, the Whispers are still around. And if they're trying to go the Commonwealth story arc, the Whispers need to be gone. It's the Whisperer War, Alpha, Beta, Whispers, a little lull, rebuild Hilltop, Commonwealth. The Whispers have to be gone. For that, who's got to go? The Alpha needs to go. Will we get a new Alpha? Will Beta lead? Will the comic story arc come around? I think Negan takes out Alpha. It makes sense because she and him are going to have a bonding moment. They are probably already have. They've already set that tone. Who's the closest to Alpha? That could possibly take her out. Negan for sure. Maybe Lydia. That would be crazy if it was because Lydia is on the Whisperer side, the Whisperer border. She's on that side right now. What happens with her? Does she take out Alpha? Does she do anything? She's the wild card too. Maggie and Lydia are wild cards. We don't know what's going to happen with these characters, and that's great because not knowing right now is a cool thing because I don't want to know everything 100%. I'm okay with that. I'm digging season 10. Season 9 was great. And the spoilers will come around when they are. I'm still going to watch to the day I die. Or to the day The Walking Dead goes off the air, most likely. And we'll see when that actually is. So be careful, guys, what you're hearing over the break. There's going to be a lot of talk. There's always a lot of speculation. I always said it was the summer of speculation because the break is so long. The summer break of The Walking Dead is so much longer than the short break here. I mean, before you know it, in 10 Sundays from now, we are having The Walking Dead back. It'll be probably Friday on AMC Premiere, so it's even before that for several people. So we're coming up on 2 months away. It's just about, 2 months away, basically, this upcoming week. So, 9 weeks or so, 10 Sundays, and we'll be here before you know it. It really will. Arsenic Alley Cat, do you think Ezekiel will leave for treatment this season? I think towards the end of the season, it makes sense. So we already had confirmation that Princess was coming at some point in season 10. which to me seems a little early. I think season 11 probably would have been better, like the first half, to go there, but they're going to expedite certain things. They're going to have that. And there's been pictures going around. I'm going to share it with you in a future video. And I'm trying to post videos daily, one video a day, to kind of stretch it out a little bit. Because before, when The Walking Dead is in season and in session, there's a lot of content. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot of episodes to talk about. There's a lot of videos that we can make. But there's going to be a lot of things there too. So I would think Ezekiel and whoever, which the pictures that we have is Ezekiel, Eugene, and Yumiko going probably to Pittsburgh or wherever the Commonwealth is for the show. Arsenic Alley Cat again. I don't think Jerry will die. I think it will be Magna, and we will get these reactions from her group. We'll see. I think if someone doesn't die in the cave, they're like, it's kind of all this hoopla for nothing. And maybe no one dies. They could do that, but we'll have to see. Protected Lion. Anyone know what the viewing figures for Talking Dead is? I wonder if it'll take them to, what it'll take for them to drop it. Talking Dead is probably still big. It's a good show for answering questions, bringing people to that. It's still pretty good. I don't know what actually the numbers are, but I still think it's pretty good. And, the fact that they don't have it with Fear the Walking Dead is pretty interesting to know that they don't have that many people watching Fear. And I'm not a Fear hater. I'm just a realistic person with Fear. And Fear is filming right now. There's been reports of different people and who was seen and who wasn't, and there's this and who was around, but not too much information, with 100% confirmation right now. So it's interesting that we'll see that coming out more and more and more. The big thing is the way it ended, season 5 ending, season 6 starting. We'll have to see. And I wonder if, season 6 is greenlit for Fear. Obviously, they're filming it right now, but I wonder if season 6 is going to be the last season or not. But I think they like the Walking Dead universe connection going around. And they're in Texas. The Walking Dead World Beyond is in Nebraska. That's pretty close to Nebraska, and Texas are pretty close, geographically at least. I wonder if they're ever going to connect. Jennifer, Q&A, do you think Jules is really going to be a Whisper? I mean, I'm 50-50. The whole thing with Dante, I was like, are they going to do the Whisper angle, the spy angle? They did. Are they going to do another spy angle? I think it's overkill if they do, but I think Jules is hopefully a good person. It would be crazy if Jules was a Whisper and she kills Luke and then she goes back to the Whispers. That would be crazy. I'm not saying it's happened because I don't know. I just think it'd be crazy, and I don't know if it would be good writing or bad. But we haven't really lost anybody. We really haven't. We lost Margot, Sadiq, and Dante. So far, that's it. In the first half of season 10. Right? Did we lose anybody else? We gained Virgil, and we gained, we're gaining characters. But the back half of season 10, we're going to lose Michonne, one way or another. And who else will we lose? I don't know. It just makes sense too. Mr. Midnight Q&A, I think Ezekiel follows our group to help out, and Jerry screaming in the trailer is his reaction to Ezekiel dying. Well, I don't think, that would be pretty crazy if it happened, but the potential spoilers of filming, that was probably around episode 14 or so, Ezekiel was still alive. And some people said that people were still around filming the finale. They said Rosita was still there, and Ezekiel and certain characters were still around. So we'll have to see what happens or not. I just don't know what's true and what's not. The spoilers have been on a low side this season. I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal. I'm going to watch it, and we'll give it when we get information. We'll share it with you. Not everybody likes, like this guy. Q&A. That's not a Q&A, bro. I'm not even going to answer your question. Don't think you should do that? Good. Well, then have a Q&A with it. Well, then don't watch for what it is. It's ridiculous. So it's just ridiculous that people cry about spoilers. And I was just going to say the point is not everybody likes spoilers. But there's always spoiler warnings all over the place. And if people watch the spoilers after the spoiler warning, that's on them. Come on now. It just doesn't make sense. But people will complain all the time. That's what they do. They complain all the time. Boyd Crowder. My man Boyd. Q&A. Do you think possibly that Alpha could die in the mid-season premiere? I don't think that's soon. I think there's going to be several episodes for that. I think there's got to be several episodes of her. I mean, I think the earliest she dies is probably episode 13 or 14, because the word is that episode 12 is Michonne's last episode. So it makes sense if we have the whole Michonne bye-bye, season 10, episode 12, and then 2 episodes later, Alpha goes away, and then the attack on Hilltop and whatever, and then this, like, it has to be paced out a little bit and strung out a little bit for it, because not every episode is going to be action, answer, go, 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 action, answer. It has to set up some things, so we'll have to see. So there's my man Mark. He was he was worried. Mark messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it to the live stream today. He's been doing some shopping, and I'm like, well, there's plenty of time. I don't want you to, hurt the shopping stuff for the holidays for anything, because, for the live stream, even though I appreciate you being here, Mark, and everybody for sure, too. My man Rob K in the house. Missed you last time, Rob. I know you were here for the membership, made you a moderator, and that's pretty awesome that you're here today, and I love it. Man. Pretty cool stuff. So, what do we got here? Arsenic Alley Cat Q&A. Did you see the picture that we shared that looked like Headless Alpha and the Walkers? Yeah, I actually shared that in a video. I had it on the Instagram. I posted it there, and I had it in a bunch of spots. I don't know how to say this name. Lyric1C1 first. I don't know what it is, but Q&A, do you think Negan will fight Beta, but Daryl and Carol kills him in saving Negan? Also, is it possible Ezekiel sacrifices himself to save everyone in the cave since he's sick? That's possible that Ezekiel could save somebody in the cave. I don't think he is anywhere near the cave, actually. I don't know how they're going to know, especially if they go back to Hilltop and Gamma comes to Alexandria, then people from Alexandria are going to have to go there unless they get on the radio and tell them, obviously. But I don't think anyone's going to sacrifice them. I just want to know who's going to actually be taken out in the cave, if anyone is or not. But I think Ezekiel survives. I thought he was going to die in the first half of season 10, and I was wrong about that. So, but I think Negan, I hope that Negan fights Beta, right? Like, Beta fought Daryl, good, decent fight. Negan fighting Rick inside Alexandria in season 8, episode 8. I talk about that in one of my videos, and when I showed him getting hit with the bell, it was pretty awesome. I hope that Beta and Negan fight inside Alexandria, and it's very similar, well, better. I hope it's a better fight than Rick and Negan fighting inside Alexandria. If they're going to fight there, that would be pretty awesome. And explosions and fire and this and that. And, I saw a lot of similarities in season 8, episode 8, well, 7 and 8, with Carl and the attack on Alexandria. Well, yeah, it was season 8, episode 7, I should say, when they fought each other with Negan and Rick. It wasn't 8. No, it was episode 8, not 8, 9. That's when Carl goes away. I'm sorry, I'm messing up on here today. But, I'm going to go back and watch a little bit of that over the break. And I've been watching a couple different episodes. I watched a movie, for those who didn't check it earlier, 6 Underground. It's a Michael Bay movie on Netflix. Caught it randomly. It was awesome. And it was definitely one of those things for the movie craziness. Michael Bay, Ryan Reynolds, Corey Hawkins, who plays Heath on The Walking Dead, is in there, and it's a good movie. It's a crazy movie, over-the-top movie, but it's one of those things that you should see. I caught it randomly. I was on there on Friday on Netflix. It came out Friday, so definitely check it out, 6 Underground, if you want to check that sometimes too. So, yeah, oh man. So there's a fake Sabatha Blood now here too. She said, fake Sab, I don't ask people to hit me up. That's just crazy. Like, why do people do that? Why are people stealing people's YouTube identities on here? It's ridiculous. That needs to be stopped, and that needs to be patrolled by YouTube, and that needs to be a serious thing for sure, because I would never think to do that. For sure. Arsenic Alley Cat, do you think the survivors celebrate holidays? That's a good question. I would assume so. I know the one time when it was the back episode with Michonne in season 9, when her friend came back and the kids were all there, they were dressed up for like Halloween. So, Judith had like her face painted and stuff. So I would assume they were celebrating Halloween for sure. And so it was kind of cool to see that. I haven't seen any other holidays. You don't know what people celebrate and what they are, but I would hope so. I would hope you have to have certain things in, the zombie apocalypse that you look forward to, and holidays and birthdays and whatever. If you can keep track of the days, like how do you know what day is actually this holiday or that day or this birthday by now, because so much time has gone by. Blaine Q&A, what happened to all the guns and ammo the group had, and why hasn't Eugene making any? That's the big question. That is a big question for Eugene not making bullets. I don't know because maybe they need to address it. Maybe they could say we ran out of this part or this chemical or this compound or this something that they need to make the bullets. There should be casings all over the place, right? So you should be able to have those things. And the casings don't have to be perfect. They need to be that. But if you don't have the gunpowder or this or that, I don't know how you make a bullet, but I'm saying if you know how to do it, then they need to be addressed on there too, because somebody should have bring up like, Eugene, we have a problem here. Walkers are a problem. We have guns, but we don't have bullets. We have on there too. But the fact that they're bringing up Virgil having weapons on the naval base is probably how they're going to get around that and not have Eugene do that. But I think it's crazy because it was an interesting thing that Eugene was such a big part in season 8 with the bullets and this and that, and it hasn't come back around. I would like to see it come back around a little bit more too. So HFG Q&A, where is Daryl getting gasoline from? Did he convert corn? Yeah, they're making ethanol. That's how they're making it, from corn. And they're making it that way is that they converted his motorcycle to run on ethanol and to run on that way too. So I don't know how to do any of that, but I know that that's how you do it. And that's one of those things, that's the real thing. You can convert engines and anything to that, and it's a thing that makes sense. But I want to talk about Carol a little bit. She's on the cover of the thumbnail of this video. My girl Carol. When I want you to go watch season 2, episode 8. If you're gonna watch all the season, you can watch the series again. But when you get to season 2, you can see that Carol is interesting. She's a character that has been through a lot. She's lost a lot of things. She's been, a tough, battered woman before the zombie apocalypse. And now the zombie apocalypse, it's kind of the same thing with Daryl. If you were like taking a beating and you were kind of down in the dumps and you didn't have the best life before the zombie apocalypse, you're doing pretty good in the zombie apocalypse now. And that's all relative, because if you think Carol has had it easy in the zombie apocalypse, she's had it pretty rough. Some would say she's had it rough more than anybody. She's definitely up there for it, because she lost her child. And if you watch season 2, episode 8, it's the episode after Sophia comes out of the barn. And Melissa McBride came out, and there's been different interviews and different things that she didn't think she was going to survive very long on the series. And imagine if she wasn't there. Imagine if Daryl wasn't on the show. It was just Merle Dixon. There was no Dixon brothers. How different would that show be? So different. Carol wasn't there. She came and went. She died. That would be crazy, right? It's one of those things that Carol and Daryl are so important on the show. It's crazy to think that. Like, if you think about all the things that Carol did, all the things that Daryl did, you erase them from The Walking Dead. The show is totally different. And I can't believe that Carol has not had one scene with Negan. Melissa McBride and Jeffrey Dean Morgan have not had a chance to act with each other in the scene on The Walking Dead since the characters have been on the same timeline in the same series. That's crazy, right? And Melissa McBride is so great. She's so nice. She's a great person. She's one of those characters that I do enjoy. I like Melissa McBride as a person. I have a funny story that I've shared several times about it, meeting her at a convention, and I've just loved her ever since. When you meet these actors and actresses in person, it's so great. I think that the actors and actresses at conventions, and you meet them, you're like, man, I really like this character more. It's like you like the character more. When I met Kaylee Presley Fleming in real life, I was like, man, I love Judith, and I kind of like Judith, from the older Judith, season 9, episode 5 and 6 and 7, and ever since season 9. And I'm like, man, that's crazy, because you meet her or meet them or meet their, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is an awesome person. Now, some would say they don't like Negan. Some love Negan. Some hate Negan. Some hated Negan when he took out Glenn and Abraham. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan is not Negan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is acting as him. And it was pretty awesome because he was such a regular guy and he was so nice. Like, he was so nice. And the other thing, too, is the governor. He was David Morrissey was like so cool on the cruise, the last Walker Stalker cruise, that it's all done. And if you never had a chance to go to Walker Stalker, it was great back in the day. And then I don't know what happened with money and funding and this and that and people not getting paid allegedly and stuff. I don't know what the real deal was, but it was great back in the day when it first started and it first was going strong. And, you know, I went there a couple years, probably the second year. It was in Orlando and it was here in Atlanta and it was a great thing. And it was pretty cool to, you know, it was pretty awesome to have. And if you ever get a chance to meet them at other conventions, whether it's, I know they were at Germany Comic-Con, and if they go to San Diego Comic-Con or you know, Bubba Fest or whatever there are, definitely go meet them if you can. Not a thing where it's not something that you have to do, but it's cool. The same thing with Sonoy, if you ever have a chance to it. And it was pretty funny. Like I follow Chandler Riggs and Chandler Riggs' mom on Instagram. And she's a realtor in Sonoy area and, you know, in Georgia. And she is selling Chandler Riggs' house. So, man, it was a funny thing that she posted on Instagram, I want to say, or Facebook. I think it was Facebook. And she posted it, and you can buy Chandler Riggs' house for $550,000 in Sonoy, Georgia. And it might be the house that he bought when he was supposed to be on the seasons longer, the whole thing with Scott Gimple and all that stuff, and he bought a house, and I think it was probably that house because Chandler lives in Los Angeles now, I believe. So it's pretty cool to see that, you know. I'm like, man, but you know, little things there, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about, you know, Fight for Us. If you haven't checked out the series, you don't have to, but if you like The Walking Dead, Zombieland, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, World War Z, just zombie genre in general, definitely check out. I should have a link in here. Yeah, it says Fight for Us books on our Amazon store, paid link. Definitely hit the link there. The books are all there. I have 11 books in that shop in my Amazon storefront, and I enjoy writing it. I enjoy the zombie apocalypse, being there, being with your friends. And at the end of the day, I feel like The Walking Dead is a show that draws you in. And it's one of those things that you're like, I do care about these characters. I love these characters. I hate these characters. I want this character to be with this character. I want that character to be with that character. You know, I want this person in there too. And it's a fictional universe, and it happens all the time on shows, whether it be you know, Sopranos, Breaking Bad, or Big Bang Theory, or whatever you like. You know, it's a thing there too. So DD Michael Rucker is very cool too. I had a chance to meet him with Norman Reedus, and Michael Rucker he's a very, very outgoing, gregarious, funny person on there too. So, you know, I just think that being part of a story, being part of the different things draws you in. And I want Fight for Us to be that same thing too. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to visualize and think of, you know, being at the Citrus Oaks, or being here and being in the car with Ryan and Phil and Sean and John and whoever that's in the story is about at the time, and, you know, the chapter is about, and going around there. And I share pictures around Tampa Bay so you can visualize a little bit more. But it's pretty cool that it's a fun thing that you can hopefully be a part of on there too. And the writing is done in a way that, you know, hopefully makes sense to you, that shows that, you know, the writing is there, that it's following someone's story. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's not your typical kind of way of reading it. Some people like it, some people love it, some people are totally against it, and that's okay. I'm not going to convert everybody. Not everybody likes everything about it, and it's just crazy too. So Andrea Talbot, what made you a zombie fan? Were you one before The Walking Dead? Somewhat. I loved Zombieland. I love Day of the Dead, Dawn. I love the mall aspect of the zombie apocalypse. Like, if you're in a zombie apocalypse, right? There's rules, there's no rules, there's laws, but there's no laws, you know, there's no one to enforce them, right? So if you think about it, in a zombie apocalypse in a fictional world, if there's no one around you that's like the way it is with like I Am Legend and, Last Man Standing. If you could go around the world and do whatever you wanted and take whatever you wanted, that's kind of like a dream, if you could just go in and not have to worry about this and go take whatever house you wanted on this too. Now in a regular life, you can't do that because, that's people's things. But if no one's around and that house is just sitting there and you might as well do it, that's kind of the appeal to me in a zombie apocalypse too. Like the zombies are one thing that you have to deal with, but surviving, thriving, rebuilding society, rebuilding the world is definitely pretty cool thing too, in my eyes too. So Arsenic Alley Cat, do you think you'd survive a zombie apocalypse? I would like to think so, but I don't know how long I would survive. It depends. Like if you think about it, if the zombie apocalypse started, it depends on where you are. If you're in the hospital, or you're at your job, or you're stuck in traffic and there's zombies all around you, or you're in your house and you didn't go food shopping for weeks, it depends on what you do, It's pretty interesting if you think about it. Hectorito, what's your favorite Christmas holiday movie? Christmas holiday movie is Christmas Vacation. That's by far the best. There's Christmas Vacation to me, and then everything else. Probably Home Alone is second. I had a top 10 video for, holiday movies, and that's pretty much my list still. I don't know if you consider Die Hard a holiday movie. Batman Returns, a holiday movie, but there's holiday stuff in there. It's pretty interesting if you think about those. The traditional holiday stuff is, A Christmas Story and, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas and, 34th Street or whatever, all those movies like that are definitely holiday movies, but, I like a little more like comedy in my stuff there too. Jane, do you know if Michael Cutlass will be directed any more episodes? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if he did any more. I know that he was seen filming another episode, or at least one episode of The Walking Dead World Beyond. So as far as I know, that he didn't direct any more episodes of season 10 of The Walking Dead, but he did direct an episode of season 1 of The World Beyond Walking Dead. Clementine's, whoa, I had no idea what you looked like until now. You're a handsome guy, though. Thank you. I appreciate it. I guess the got to be something for everybody, but I appreciate the comments, and, I'm not the best looking guy, but, I think I'm all right, but, I guess it's, like I said, beauty is in the eye of the beer holder, right? That's what they say is the joke, but we'll see. So Gremlins, right? James, Gremlins, they're just like that too. So Hectorito 4. I watch Scarface every Christmas. Well, who put this thing together? Me. That's who. I love the lines of that too. So I have to say, like, has anyone watched The Irishman? Because I only watched the first hour of it, and I haven't been back to watch it since. And I don't know if I'm missing anything. People said it gets better the back half the series, the movie, because it's 3 hours long. So I'm a third of the way done. Is the half of it, the back half better, the last third of it better? I don't know. So it's one of those things that I just probably get back to watching it, but it was just kind of boring too. So, yeah, people like different things here. Sir Darkstar, Q&A, you think Beta leading the herd to Alexandria will happen in this season or the next one? I think it's this season. I think Beta runs the show. So a lot of people are bringing up a lot of questions to me. Yeah, Rob K. Dawn of the Dead with Ving Rhames is awesome. It really is. It's got the mall aspect, the survival aspect. It's pretty great. That's definitely a thing. It's like that one video game. I'm blanking on the name right now. Dead Rising, I think. When they're in the mall, I was looking at buying that, the latest one, Dead Rising 4, for PlayStation 4. But I'm trying to get it for a super good deal. I just beat Spider-Man for PS4. I have the DLC that I'm playing now. I play it on Twitch, and I share it on Twitch, the Spider-Man on PS4, and so I'm up there playing it every now and again. I play that. I have God of War that I'm going to go through again. I bought Uncharted 4, and I'll probably get a couple. I got to finish Days Gone, so I'll probably buy that. Because I know Redbox is going to be getting rid of rentals very soon, which is like crazy because I love to rent it first before I buy it too. So Tommy Griffin Jr., what's up? So I like watching holiday movies. My wife and I, we like watching Christmas Vacation. The Grinch. She likes to watch The Grinch. I like Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. And I like, just different things. I don't know if I need to watch all the holiday movies, but I'm trying to put together a list of like non-traditional holiday movies that aren't just like your standard Christmas movies. Like Die Hard is definitely on there. It's not whether you agree it's a Christmas movie or not, it's around the Christmas time and it's a Christmas party, so it's around there too. And there's a lot of movies that are like that too. So Deck the Halls, Danny DeVito, pretty good. Yeah. Eddie says Cutlets was slated for 2 episodes, so I believe that's done. I think so. Gremlins, same, said that good too. Yeah. Chalsaic Q&A: Have Walking Dead comics been completed or ended? So do we know that season 11 has been greenlighted? So yes, to both of those answers. The Walking Dead comics finished in July this year, right before Comic-Con, so they're gone. And season 11 is definitely happening of The Walking Dead. That'll be start filming in May 4th, I believe, is what they said. And we shared that in the video. And it's funny because, I thought it was pretty big news that we know that May 4th they're going to start filming next year, season 11. Found out some information potentially about different, premiere dates. Found out some information about the movies, and then people are like, that's not big news. That's not this. And people love to voice their opinion, what they think is that too. And it's just pretty funny. I guess it's all relative, right? What you think is big news or not. But people are definitely going to let you know about it. Eric, another Q&A. What is the biggest mystery remaining in The Walking Dead besides where is Rick? Well, that's the biggest mystery there is. Where is Rick? Probably the biggest one. That's a good question right now the mystery is the woman over the radio. Is it Stephanie? Is it the Commonwealth? Is the Commonwealth going to be in Ohio? Is the group going to go to Pittsburgh? Is it going to connect the dots that way? Or is the Commonwealth going to be the same on the show as it is the comics? Are the Miltons going to be there? The other one too is Maggie. Where has Maggie been all this time? Does she know the Miltons? Does she know the Commonwealth? Where has Georgie been? How far has she gone away from the Virginia area? That's probably the biggest mysteries right now to me, at least I think, are big. But again, it's all relative. So. Janet Boyd, she says, Boyd, have you seen the link? It features a young Elizabeth Shue and orangutan. Enough said. Always watch Christmas Vacation. I think I know. Me too. I know I could picture the entire movie of Christmas Vacation, and I laugh at still the same things when he falls off the roof and he's like, well, why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. It's just hilarious, and I laugh at the same things. It's just, we're gonna put a tree that big, bend over and I'll show you. It's just great. And it's crazy to think that movie came out 30 years ago. 30 years ago, and there really hasn't been anything, in my opinion, to rival Christmas Vacation in 30 years. That's crazy of that movie, of how great it is too. So it's definitely a fun thing that I love watching every year. My wife and I, we have the DVD, so we watch it every year. I think we watch it every December 1st, and then we watch it Christmas Eve. That's kind of some of our traditions that we have too. So Jane Bry, another big mystery will be how will The Walking Dead film? That's a good question too. I don't know. Are we going to get 12 seasons, 13 seasons? Are they going to do this? Are they going to have the movies are going to connect and not? There's a lot of good questions that are coming up, and I'm glad people are asking them. We are invested in them. We are invested in the story. We are invested in these characters. And that is a good thing because it draws us in as long as they answer stuff. You can set things up like A and B better make sense. It better be rewarding. It better be awesome because that has been introduced a while now. PPP card really needs to be answered still. We don't really know. To me, it makes the most sense that it was the Pikes and it foreshadowed, Tara's death. That makes the most sense to me as if that's what it was. We don't know if that's the final answer or not. The A and B, what do they mean? Are they segregated? Are they two different locations? As A's go one way, B's go another way? Do A's or B's have precedent over the other? We don't know. We'll have to see where they go because if there's an A on a helicopter, that is probably they go to some location, right? Or, we just don't know. I just hope it makes sense. For sure. Eric, will Dwight, Sherry, and Rick gone? With Dwight, Sherry, and Rick gone, will that aspect of the comics come to the show? With others, do you think they will omit it altogether? I don't know how they can do that because, for those who don't know, Dwight becomes a pretty big character during the Whisperer War. Sherry is running the Saviors compound. She is Negan, basically. She is running the Saviors. She is running things. But there is no Saviors. There is no Sanctuary. There is no different thing there, too. Rick is still around. Rick and Dwight have a problem with things. Sherry attacks Rick. Rick takes Sherry out. Dwight finds out, even though Dwight is with Laura, so it doesn't really matter too much, but it kind of does. Sherry attacks Rick. Rick didn't mean to take her out, but it happened by him defending himself. And what could that be? Who's going to be Dwight? Who's going to be Sherry? Who's going to be Rick? Is Rick going to be Daryl? Who's going to be Dwight? We don't know. Who's going to be Sherry? I just don't know how they would do it. That would be something that they probably would take out. But the big thing will be the Negan-Rick story arc for the Whisperer War. Is it going to be Negan and Daryl? Or Negan and Father Gabriel, or who's it going to? I don't know. We just don't know how that's going to be. But that's the big aspect too, for sure. So I know that we'll have a bunch of things coming for the back half of season 10 and beyond, and I'm excited for that future of it because it's definitely entertaining. At the end of the day, it's a zombie apocalypse show that we're going to end up with 10 seasons of, 11 seasons of. That's crazy to think about that. If you went back, 13 years, 15 years, 20 years ago. And someone's like, I got this idea for a zombie apocalypse show. You're like, yeah? Good luck with that. Like, it's done in a way that draws you in, and it's great. Somebody asked me a question in the comments. What would it take for me to stop watching Fear the Walk, or to stop watching Walk the Dead? Walking Dead. I can't even talk. Sorry. What would it take for me to stop watching The Walking Dead? And I thought about it. If the show wasn't what it is anymore, if they got rid of Carol, Daryl, and Judith, Michonne's gone, Rick's gone, we have a couple characters left. If it basically turns into another show of The Walking Dead, like a shell of itself, if the writing doesn't make sense, if they do things just to do things, and I don't know, I'd probably still watch. I have to see how this series ends. I'm so invested in it. I know the characters. I know the story arcs. I know the Easter eggs. I know the connections. I know those things there too. I'm like, man, that's crazy. One of those things where I'm like, I got to see the way this ends. When you put your time in it and you put your effort into reading the comics and you're watching the show and you're reading different things and you're getting information here and there, it's like, man, I got to find out what happens with this because I definitely want to see how it ends up. Because we're invested. And hopefully you guys are invested in the Fight For Us book series too, because I try to have a bunch of things with it that make sense, that set things up, that you're like, oh, I wonder what's that about. It'll be answered, whatever it is on there too. And it's rewarding for that too. So, Crystal, the singer chick, Q&A. Hey, Bride, do you think Commonwealth might film in Chattanooga? Nick and Norman's is opening there soon. It's only about 3 hours from Atlanta. First, Nick and Norman's. Oh, man, what is that? It just jumped on me. First, Nick and Norman's in Sonoya, where the studio is now. Well, I don't see Nick and Norman's being like a hotbed of where they film. I just think Nick and Norman's is a bar restaurant in Sonoy, right where they film. I don't know if the two are connected. I could see them doing things at the Chattanooga restaurant for their viewings and all that stuff, and maybe more celebrities and stuff will be there, meet and greets and whatever. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe trivia and stuff and viewers on there and view parties. But I just don't know if the show, because the show films in Georgia for the tax breaks and the ability to film in a rural location and use things there too, and the studio is all there. I just don't know in Tennessee there would be different things there too. But if you know the book series, Fight For Us, it starts in Tennessee. I don't want to give too much away, but that's where the opening of that series starts. So that'd be pretty cool. Fight For Us did. I would love for that actually. But again, guys, I always want to say thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to go for about another 10 minutes. It really means a lot to me that you guys are here asking questions, being a part of the community. And I started the Walking Dead community Facebook page and a group, the PT channel Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, definitely check it out. Give us a follow and all that to be part of it. I have Instagram at the PT channel. And it's definitely something to be connected with because I do post things on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. And sometimes they're not all connected. Sometimes they are, but I just want to make sure you don't miss out. And we talk about The Walking Dead year round. It's definitely a thing that I love talking about The Walking Dead all year round, even when The Walking Dead is on break. And next year, it looks like we're getting 42 weeks of The Walking Dead universe. The Walking Dead second half of season 10, first half of season 11, Fear the Walking Dead first and second half of season 6, and 10 episodes of The Walking Dead World Beyond. So 42 episodes. Man, that's a lot of Walking Dead. That's a lot of Sundays or Fridays on AMC Premiere. Arsenic Alley Cat, do you think the movie do well in theaters? I think so. I think a lot of people would go check it out. I'll probably go watch it in the movie theater if it's around there, or because who knows, is it going to be like it comes out on Friday at the movie theater and then Sunday on TV? Is it going to be on TV and the movie theater at the same time? Is it going to be on the movie theater first and then you got to wait a month or so to watch it on television? Because if it's in the theater first, I'm sure a lot of people would want to go watch it. And to be honest, that'd be the smartest way to do it, is to go have it in the movie theater for a while and then it comes on AMC, eventually. But I think it'll do well. I think it would be something worth watching for sure. So, did anybody watch the movie Mayhem with Steven Yeun? He played Glenn on The Walking Dead. I watched it the other day. It's a crazy, I don't know if it's really a zombie movie. It's like a virus movie that's definitely a different take on it. It's kind of crazy. But Steven Yeun does a pretty good job. He's a good actor, and I do like Steven for sure. Heart of Nixie. So could we get Sherry arc on Fear? I hope so. I really hope Sherry is seen in the first episode of season 6, going for the entire season of season 6. She's reunited with Dwight in the mid-season finale. She saves Morgan. She does something there. Sherry needs to be involved heavily because it makes sense that we building it up. They need to do that, and it needs to be done right away. Enough of this stretching it out. We didn't even see her at all in season 5, but they talked about her and Dwight and talked about her and the notes and this and that. Enough with the messing around. Just bring her around with a group that helps Morgan and everybody, taken out. Folks, call me Jenny. That lady needs to go quick. That is for sure. But a lot of people are definitely thinking about, the future of The Walking Dead, and people love to say, like, that show's still on and that's on there too, and I'm sure they still watch or whatever, they do that. But yes, The Walking Dead is strong. The Walking Dead is going strong for sure. And I think it's got, a couple more years left in the tank, and then it needs to end. I asked the question on my other channel, and if you can check it out, it's called Fight for Us, like the book series. So it's Fight, the number 4, and Us. I asked the question, how should how should a zombie apocalypse story end? Some people wrote, it shouldn't. It should never end. Everything that starts has a beginning, middle, and end. People don't live forever. Stories, have to end one way or another. There's anything that has a beginning has an end. It has to be that way. That's just the way the ever-evolving cycle of life is, whether it's, people, animals, plants, and whatever, it just makes sense. So I don't think it needs to be there infinitely, but I thought of the idea of, I don't think The Walking Dead's ever doing the cure. I don't think they're ever doing the military saves everybody. I don't think they're doing certain things like that, the immunity theory. I just think that, if you know the comics, you know how it ends, and I think it's going to be very similar on the show. But if you were writing a story, would you want it to be that everybody survives? No one survives? Half of the people survive? The good people survive? The bad people survive? Should it be a good, happy ending where people are reunited? Or should it be this? Or should it be a cure? Should somebody sacrifice themselves for the greater good? It's all one of those things, but it's one of those things that it just makes sense. I definitely think it makes sense. So Clementine, PT stands for a couple things, but I'm a physical therapist. I'm a doctor of physical therapy. So initially it was the physical therapy channel, but right now it's probably physical therapy channel, party time channel, part-time channel. I don't know. It's definitely a bunch of things, positive thinking channel, try to keep things positive, but I'm also keeping things real. I keep things real with everybody because that's what's got to be done too. You know, it's not fake positivity and it's not negative all the time. Like there's certain channels that are just negative. They see the negative. There's no positive whatsoever. I try to see both, but I try to be real and I try to keep it positive. That is a positive thinking is a perception, is perceiving things in a positive way can make bad things not so bad and some good things even better. But it's hard to do, that's for sure. But yeah, PT means a bunch of different things. Some people give me support. Best Walking Dead channel on YouTube. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. But it's one of those things where, you know, I'm just me. Some people say they like this channel, they like that channel, they like ours. You know, it's definitely something that I like everybody to be involved with. And if everybody followed every Walking Dead channel on YouTube, you can. There's no reason you can't. It's not anything where you can't do it. It's definitely one of those things where I like the idea of my take on it, another channel's take on it, another thing there. People like to start drama and problems. I'm not about that. I'm not about that at all. But I do feel like some people are misleading. I do feel like some people are clickbait, trickbait, and I do take offense when people call me that because I'm highly not that. There's other channels that are definitely all about that, or at least they were back in the day. I don't watch other YouTube channels for Walking Dead stuff. I make my own stuff. When people bring theories and ideas to me, I give them credit. I give shout outs for them too. And when I had the thing with, you know, the Negan picture with him at Alexandria, somebody brought that to my attention. To me, I think it's a woman that's, you know, in Alpha's mask next to the Whisperers with the arrows, but some people think it's, you know, Negan. Some people think it's this, you know. I think it could be a possibility that it's misleading. We'll have to see, especially if they want you to think that Alpha is still alive, where she might not be alive at that point. So we'll have to see, because there's some things in trailers that aren't in episodes. So there's some things that are in trailers that are misleading. They're changed for the show. Marvel does it all the time. They've done it there too before. So we'll have to see if it's something like that or not. But Rob K, I've definitely seen Train to Busan. I like to say Train to Busan because it sounds better, Train to Busan, but I think it's Train to Busan, and it's in Korea. I think it's a Korean film. It's all subtitles, but it's a good zombie apocalypse, zombie story. I know they're making another movie to that, a sequel, I guess. Or maybe it's a prequel. I don't know if it's a different spot or different where it is like that too. But Train to Busan is good. That is a good, I recommend that one for sure. Hectorito, I think Marvel will work on X-Men Zombie Saga for Disney+. That'd be cool. I mean, zombies are kind of hot right now too still, so we'll have to see where all this craziness is. You know, I'm a Zombieland fan. It's kind of crazy over the top stuff, but that's okay. It's either over the top crazy campy stuff like the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. That's pretty hilarious, but it's supposed to be. So is Zombieland, you know? But when a show is trying to be campy and serious and campy, you just can't really, you know, do that too. So John Graham, Bry with the addiction of the beanie. PT could also mean pure thug. No, I'm definitely not a thug by any means. You know, I stand for what's right in my opinion. I stick up for people and stand up for myself. That's for sure. But I wouldn't say I'm a thug. But is anyone a UFC fan? Because I have to comment about this. A spoiler warning for UFC 245 or something last night, whatever that was. It was Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. And if you don't know who won that fight, all I'm going to say is I'm glad that the winner won that fight, because the person that just, there's a fighter between the two, likes to talk a lot of smack, and maybe it's a persona, maybe it's fake, maybe it's trying to sell the fight or whatever, but karma is a B. You get what you give, and that's what it is. And bullies, trash talkers, all that stuff, there's no need for that. For some of the things, if you're trying to sell a fight and you're trying to sell things, that's okay. But when you say things too crazy, too over the top, and you kind of go a low blow and you're doing that stuff, it's uncalled for. That doesn't need to happen at all too. So, but ultimately, guys, thank you guys for joining me this Sunday. I will be Back next Sunday for sure. Krista says, love the realness and you have a soothing voice. I appreciate it. Krista, I just gotta be me, too. Like I can't be anybody else. And there's times where, I play it up or I act it up or I'm kind of, singing and trying to have fun with it. But that's me too. Like I'm kind of like, I try to keep things positive and happy and, easy going. But it's just one of those things that it just wasn't. I just can't be fake. That's all I can say. Andrea Talbot, are you friends with the other channels? Not really. I mean, I'm okay. I'm cool with some of them, but some of them I'm not. Obviously, because they like to talk trash and they like to cause problems. But I just let them be. Let people talk. Let people do what they do. I have talked to several of the people that run the channels. I wish them nothing but the best. I wish them nothing but great things. And if you want to be a subscriber to all the channels, you can be. We're trying to hit that goal of 100,000 subscribers. We're approaching 88,000. So if we hit 88,000 by the end of this year, which I hope we do, we just need to hit 12,000 subscribers next year. That's 1,000 a month. And I think we could do it. 100,000 subscribers is something that I want to achieve because you get a silver play button. At least you did. Because I'm trying to get, something where it's an accomplishment. You get that trophy on the mantle or on the bookshelf or wherever it is. I grew up playing competitive soccer since I was 5 years old. I played for 13, 14 years, and I won a lot of trophies, won a lot of things, and I'm a competitor. I like to do things to the best of my ability, and I think if we achieve that success and we hit that 100,000 subscriber mark, I think it's a great accomplishment. And some people may think it's, not a big deal, but it is, because I do appreciate all the things that we do here, and it kind of builds us up to show that we are doing positive things and we're being good things and we're doing great things for everybody involved. So I hope we can accomplish that, and I need help doing it. If I knew 100,000 people and they could all subscribe, that would be amazing, but I just don't know, so I need your help just because I just can't do it myself. But Jonathan Wilder asks, where is Lucille? We don't know, but from the trailer, Michonne's got her tucked away somewhere. So we'll have to see what happens with Lucille, and I hope she gets reunited with Negan, and Negan fights Beta with it, and the rest from the comics on there too. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to see next year if I have a little more time to do something on Thursdays. My schedule, I'm opening up some different things with my schedule next year, with physical therapy and the clinics and all that stuff too. So Jonathan, I just answered Lucille. We don't know yet, but we'll have to see what's going to go for that. Give us a follow on Twitch. I'm going to try to do a bunch of things there too, more gaming stuff, more Q&As, and right now I just game and I just play it. But I'll have my headset. I got a headset over there for the PS4, so hopefully I'll be able to talk with you guys and be a part of it. So give us a follow at the PT channel on Twitch, and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff at the PT channel. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to my members. Thank you to everyone that has been a part of it and being there too. I'll be back next Sunday, which is the 22nd, and I'll be back the 29th too. So I have 2 more live streams the rest of this year. I'll have a bunch of things to talk about. And when I get information, I always share it with you guys too. So thank you guys for being a part of it. I truly appreciate it. I can't say that enough, because it is a meaningful thing to be a part of something, the Walking Dead community. I can't say it enough too that I appreciate my fighters, the people who read the Fight For Us book series. Book 11 is going very well. I think I'm on chapter 12 or 13. I know I'm on at least chapter 12. We'll probably be about 18 chapters again. I might be on chapter 13. I'm not sure. But book 11 is titled Access, and it'll be out early in 2020, probably the first quarter, maybe February or March, at the latest March. But I just want it to be done right. So if I have to draw out a little bit longer, I'm just going to take my time with it. So thank you guys for joining me. This is Brian, One Eye Bri from the PT channel. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, blocking out the haters, and staying true to yourself. Enjoy your Sunday. If you definitely want to check out some things on Netflix, I recommend a couple of things. And movies, definitely be back next Sunday. Thank you guys, and see ya.